Hey everyone, I'm Luis Chavez, and welcome back to the seventh episode of the Career Blueprint. Today I am joined by Sophia Koutsouli. Sophia, thank you so much for being here and taking the time to be here to share your insights. So, before graduating, Sophia was an accounting major, president of the LEO Busch School of Honors Society, teaching assistant for accounting and marketing classes, previous audit intern at RSM, and finally, after receiving a return offer, she's heading back to RSM this summer as a full-time assurance associate. So, Sophia, thanks again for taking the time to be here, and let's have a good session today. So, now that you've graduated from the Catholic University of America, before graduating, you ran your small business called SopSopArt while pursuing an accounting degree. So, how does your artistic eye for digital design make you a better associate for visualizing complex audit data at RSM?
Okay, well, that's a good question. I haven't really thought about that overlap, but um I haven't drawn a lot in the past 2 years just because school has been so busy. But before
Yeah.
that, it was fun to just take a break from work and draw something. And at the same time, as you probably saw that I would sell my art and I did
Yeah.
commissions and stuff like that. So I was kind of used to talking with clients, especially that's the most important. I never did video calls or anything like that. We would mostly just text. But being able to understand your client and figure out what they want is so important with art because it takes so much time to draw something. And if you spend 30 hours and it's not what they want at all, then it's well, now I have to go back and do it again. And audit is
Yeah.
basically the same thing. So first and foremost, understanding your client and being able to meet in the middle with them if you need to is the most
Mhm.
important. So I think that helped me a lot with that aspect of auditing.
Yeah, that's great. Wow, I love that. All right. So you were a campus connector for RSM this past year. What is the one insider tip you give students to try to take a notch at maybe getting into the recruiting process for RSM? And what was your experience like as campus connector at COA?
Okay, so it was kind of unexpected for me because during my internship last summer, they sent out a survey asking people if they would be interested in kind of helping with recruiting or just
Mhm.
helping with outreach. And our school wasn't even on the list because it's a smaller school. They don't really do outreach here a lot. They do one or two events, but that's it. So I
Mhm.
kind of just submitted anyway. I was like, why not try? And I wrote a paragraph about how our university in particular is so big on community, and that's RSM's biggest thing is community and being friendly with everyone.
Mhm.
So I kind of pitched it to them, and I guess it worked because then they allowed me to do it.
Yeah.
So I was able to do those few events. They had the CPA review session recently, which was actually so helpful, and there were a lot of people there. And then we do obviously the career fairs and stuff like that. Um, so for me, I had a great time because I met so many people that were interested and also people that weren't interested, but it's good to know who you want and who you don't want. But
Yeah.
so many younger accounting students that I met with that were now connected on LinkedIn. I connected them with my recruiter and they're
Mhm.
completely in the system. So I don't know, for anyone watching this, if you want to get into RSM or anything like that, just
Yeah.
connect with me on LinkedIn. I can put your name in. But it's I mean, it was such an easy role and I had fun because I genuinely had such a good time at my internship. Why not represent the company I want to work for? It was
Mhm.
a fun time. All the people that I met there were so friendly. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me. But
Yeah.
as for if you want to be, I guess if you want a position like this, I know that the Big Four do stuff like this where you're kind of an outreach person for your university. I'm not sure how it works. It's probably similar, but I mean, the recruiters are so friendly. You can literally just stop by their office and pitch the idea to them and they would probably accept. So it's worth a try.
Yeah. That's great. So you've been a teaching assistant for accounting and marketing. Which subject was harder to help students with, and how do you help them bridge the gap between numbers and strategy?
Okay. Well, yeah, so I helped with Egan's class, which was marketing management,
Mhm.
marketing 345, and then also marketing 457, which is the senior class. And then I did accounting 205 and 206. and then I think it was 311. So I did like a lot of classes at the same time. Um, the hardest was probably, to be honest, marketing was harder for me just because it was a lot more work, as in like I had to grade papers and then we started doing videos, so I had to like watch all the videos and grade those.
Yeah.
Um, and that was just harder because it's time consuming and marketing is like way more subjective, I feel like. Whereas accounting, it's like you either get it right or you don't. But with marketing,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you could be partially right and like partially wrong. So that was hard. But accounting, I really enjoyed just because, I mean, I had to hold some review sessions and stuff, which honestly was also a review for me because it's been so long since I took those classes that it was kind of nice to like go through that again and like
Yeah.
help teach people. Also because like part of my success in my accounting classes was like figuring out my own processes for like solving problems because sometimes what the professor tells you to do like doesn't really connect in your mind and you need like your own way to do it. So I would teach students how I would do it and I heard that it helped them a lot. Like a lot of people came up to me after their exams and said like they had remembered what I said during the session. So that was really nice to hear.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I like that. I love that story about how you would tell them like how you would do it, and hearing it from a student is way different than hearing it from a professor who like just she already knows. She
Yeah,
already
they
has
do
it.
that for a living. So
Yeah, I mean, they've studied it for years upon years, so that's great. So, as the outgoing or now former president of the LEO Honors Society, you represented the top 10% of the school. What is the best advice you have for a freshman who wants to reach that same level of academic success?
okay. I feel like so for me, I mean, since I was a commuter and I didn't have like a ton of clubs or anything I was a part of my first year or two, it was super
Mhm.
easy for me to just focus on school, which for people maybe living on campus or people more involved, that's like a lot more difficult because you have more things that will like consume your time. But yeah, I was able to focus mostly on just like my academics, but at the same time, like I haven't really had a problem with studying and stuff like that. Like I'm able to get stuff down. The number one thing for me is like writing everything by hand. Like don't take notes on your laptop. Like take a
Mm.
journal to each of your classes and write in that journal because otherwise you are not going to learn, especially in accounting.
Yeah,
And then the other thing, like being grateful that we can even be here and learn. I mean, there are so many people who like every day maybe they don't have clothes to wear, they can't even find food to eat, like they can't have 3 meals a day, and we're so lucky to be here. We're well fed, we're clothed, we have
yeah,
shelter, and we can learn. Like just that alone like says so much about the position that we are in. So why would I
mm,
like take it for granted? You know what I mean? Like I should do my best because my parents allow me to be here. So
yeah,
that's like my whole thing. Every time I'm like, oh, I have this exam tomorrow. I don't feel like studying, whatever. I'm like, well, like it's just another day of studying and it'll be done. Like I might as well just get it out of the way and I'll feel better after. So, but at the same time, if you do bad, again, it's just one exam and you can get over it. So it's kind of like a balance. But yeah, being grateful was like a big part of it for me.
yeah. I like that. Yeah, I definitely agree with that for sure. It's definitely not, like our struggles are really not as much as other people. So just getting it
Yeah.
over with, and it always passes in the end. So
Hmm.
that's great. So during your internship at RSM, you focused on government contracting and the construction business. What surprised you most about the raw reality of auditing middle market firms in that sector?
I guess I knew going in that, middle market, we wouldn't be auditing like Apple or like Spotify or something. So I knew it would be
Mhm.
smaller. But at the same time, like they were still such huge companies, like with billions of dollars like on their accounts and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
like I remember I would open an Excel sheet and it was like 500,000 rows. It's like, okay, like
Oh,
middle market is still so big and like I couldn't even like realize that until I started. Like I also worked a little bit on nonprofit, which I don't think I wrote on my LinkedIn, but I did like a couple on the side when I had
oh
time.
wow. Yeah.
So I did like a radio station that was like a nonprofit, and then I also did like a science like research company that was like one of the biggest ones I worked on. And then I
Mhm.
know also that RSM, I think one of our biggest clients is like they do like drones and planes and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say the name of the company, but anyway, but it's like one of the bigger ones in the US. So
Mhm.
like the range is so broad, which is what I love about RSM. Like you can work on such a small like the radio station I worked on was so small, but still like being able to help those people is like so nice. Like, I mean, they need the services and we can provide it, so it doesn't matter how big or small they are. And then on the
Yeah.
other hand, you can work on such a huge company that like thousands and thousands of people work there. Like there are so many numbers and so many different things you have to think about. So like working in
Mhm.
middle market, you can get like the whole range of experiences. Whereas like in Big Four, you do get like the most huge company experience and it's like probably faster.
Yeah.
But again, with RSM, like I got to work on I think like 9 or 10 clients in one summer. And I think at Big
Yeah.
Four you
Wow.
would probably only work on one or two maybe. So that
Mhm.
was like the best part for me. I got to work with so many different teams. So it's like I got to do so much different stuff. I didn't even have to stay in my sector. Like if someone else needed help, I could just go, like I just went and joined nonprofit because like why not? So it
Yeah.
was fun.
So how did you actually get first connected with somebody like at RSM or to get the internship, or could you explain more how you even got the internship in the first place?
Yeah. It was literally from like one of the career events at like the Busch School. So it
Oh
was like,
wow.
yeah, it was like sophomore year fall that they had like an RSM info session or something.
Hmm.
And I went and it was like I think it was 3 people on the panel and they were all super friendly. It was one person from tax, one consulting, and then I think one audit, if I remember correctly. But they were all like super friendly. One of them was from the Gaithersburg office, which is like really close by.
Yeah.
Another was from the McLean office, which is where I ended up going.
Hmm.
Um, and they just like I love about the thing I love about RSM is like they take these info sessions so like not seriously, not like in a bad way, but in a way that it's like
Oh
very
yeah.
informal, so it feels more friendly kind of.
Like
Like
less
they don't
intimidating for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
they don't do like the whole thing like about like training and like onboarding and this and that. Like no, they just go right into like the fun parts, which is
Hmm.
how it should
Yeah.
be. So yeah, they talked about like, after hours they play kickball or whatever, like they go to
Yeah.
happy hours and stuff like that.
Oh wow. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun. And I really liked the fact that they were so excited to talk about kickball, and that made me so happy. I was like, I want to apply here. Like this seems fun.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, literally that same night I applied, and while I was waiting for them to respond, I knew like you kind of need to get your name out there. Like just applying isn't enough. You need to like
Hmm.
obviously connect with the recruiters. But then those people that were at the panel, I had like followed up with them and then they had come back for like the what's it called? The networking night. And I made
Yeah.
sure to like go out of my way to talk to them there because they also will kind of like tell the recruiter like, "Oh, this person stopped by and, they said they're interested in RSM, whatever." So I think that probably helped me out and that made them like go through my application a lot faster. So
Hmm.
I would definitely say like follow up with people, get your name out there as much as you can. Um, like me, I mean, I had also applied to Big Four, but a little bit too late. So I guess another word of advice for people in accounting is like you have to apply so far in advance, like way earlier than you would think. So just do it as fast as you can.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. That's very interesting about the sophomore fall career fair. That's actually that. I mean, especially that strikes especially someone like me. I'm going into my sophomore year. I know maybe
Yeah.
this fall is going to be a big one for me.
Yeah, go to all those events. Like they're so fun. They always have food and like meeting people is nice. You also get like 4.9 or 2.99, 3.99, 4.99 points, so
Mhm.
you might as well
Yeah.
just go.
Yeah. That's great. I love that. So, while before graduating, you aimed for the 150 credit mark to be CPA eligible by graduation. So, actually, how did you manage that burnout that comes with maybe such a heavy course load during college?
Yeah. Um, Looking back now, I actually wish that I had like over elected even more like earlier on
Mhm.
because I mean I always took at least 6 classes a semester, which is like pretty normal. One time I did 8. That was like the most I did.
A
Um,
semester?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Um, because I knew, well, like I said, like my parents sacrifice a lot and work so hard for me to go to school. Like I'm so lucky that they pay for me to be just like at school. So
Hmm.
I never want to like take that for granted. So I worked as hard as I could to get it done as quickly as I could. And at the same time, a lot of people don't know this, but you can do summer courses at your like local community college instead of at CUA and then just transfer the credits. And you
Yeah.
can do up to 2 per summer. So I did that every summer. I took 2 summer classes. And then at my community college, it was like 400 to 500 per class, whereas at CUA it's like a lot more. So I would
Yeah.
recommend that if you want to get ahead.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And originally, because my major was marketing and sales, I had planned to graduate like a semester early. So I was like on track to do that and even more. I could have even
Oh,
done like a year early, I think. But then I switched my
wow.
major and I was like, well, I'm so far ahead now. Like, let me just hit 150 and then I don't need to do a master's or anything like that. I can just study immediately.
Yeah. And are you aiming now to, well, I mean, to achieve the eligibility for CPA? Are you eligible now to?
Yeah, I'm like fully eligible. I actually just applied yesterday to the state board, so I'm waiting to hear back. But in the
Wow.
meantime, I actually started studying today. So
That's crazy. Yeah.
that's been very interesting. It's really hard. It's
Uh-huh.
kind of a struggle, but it's my first day, so I'm trying to like stay positive, but like it's gonna take at least a year probably to pass them all, so I have to kind of just like stay motivated.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. I wish you the best of luck with all that. You
Thank
got it.
you.
So you audited middle market government contract and construction business firms, as we discussed before, which means that you dealt with very unique business structures. What is one piece of industry knowledge you maybe had to pick up on the fly during your internship?
Hmm. I guess that's a good question. Um, During the summer, I think it was like right when I started my internship, basically, like there had been crazy like fund and like budget cuts for like government contractors and government agencies and stuff. So
Yeah.
the whole firm was like kind of trying to navigate that really quickly. And obviously as interns, like we had no idea what was going, like we didn't know what that meant, like what that would happen to the audits and stuff like that. Um, so I remember I had talked to like a partner, I had a coffee chat with them, and
Hmm.
she was the government like contracting partner of the firm.
Oh, wow.
And I
Yeah.
asked her, like, so what does this mean? Like, how do you stay up to date with stuff like this? And she was like, well, I literally have to read the news every single day. Like, multiple times a day, she'll go on like Wall Street Journal or something to read
Wow.
what's going on. And she's like, if you don't
Mhm.
do that, like, you'll never know. Like, you have to just read the news.
Yeah.
So I guess in accounting, especially auditing, it's so important to keep up to date with the news. Also in tax, I mean, like, we know the Big Beautiful Bill Act passed like last year, and that changed a lot for tax. So
Mhm.
you really have to just stay up to date. And I know your professors have probably told you this, but like, yeah, it's pretty important.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's amazing to hear. So now that your time at Seaway has wrapped up, what was a moment during your time at Seaway where things didn't go according to plan, and how did that redirect your journey to RSM?
Hmm. I guess. Oh, actually, yeah, I know how to answer this question. So I had that sophomore fall that I was going to those like networking events and stuff. I went to RSM, I went to Deloitte, EY, I think
Yeah.
those three. And so I had applied to like all the big four, also RSM. I think I applied to Cohn Resnick, which is like a top, probably like top 20 firm in the US.
Yeah.
So I had like a mix of like big firms and like medium firms. And in my head, I was like, well, if I get a big four offer, like I'm immediately going to accept. Like, why wouldn't I?
Hmm.
And I ended up not getting any, which
Yeah.
in my opinion, I think is a little crazy because I do have a 4.0 GPA, but you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was because I applied way too late. Like they had already done their like rolling admissions and
Mhm.
I was like on the far end, so it was like too late for me. Or maybe I wasn't good enough. I don't know. We'll never know. But I feel
No, you're
like
good.
that was like meant to happen. And I mean, people say like everything happens for a reason. I think it was
Hmm.
meant to happen because then RSM accepted me. I had my interview like the next day and then immediately they accepted me within like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Um, and like, I mean, because if I had gotten a Big Four internship, I probably wouldn't have gone to RSM. So who knows like where I would be now? It would be like a
Yeah.
completely different place. So I'm glad that happened. I did count it as like a failure to not get in because like it feels good to get accepted and know like you're qualified and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
it could also mean that they just missed out and now I have a greater opportunity in front of me. Like I met so many great people. I learned so much over the summer. My office is like close by. So I met like some really, really good friends that I still talk to. So I think it was like a great thing for me to be rejected by them, honestly.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, that's amazing. I really love, like, I feel like everyone that I've interviewed so far, like they've had the story where they wanted to go here, and then they get rejected, and then now where they are today, the company that they're at today, like they just like love it so much. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's just really inspiring, especially for anyone out there, like just rejection is not over. It may suck, but yeah, it honestly it could be like just use it as like a redirection and more like motivation to like go to another firm, and maybe that firm will be the one right for you. So
Yep,
I love that.
true.
So, what is the single most valuable relationship or connection you made in the Busch School, and how did it impact your trajectory? This could be
Hmm.
with a professor, a classmate, a colleague.
Okay, yeah. Um, so I was always really good friends with like my professors. Like I always would stop after class and like talk to them a bit. And there are like a few I can name that like definitely impacted me the most. The first one would probably be like Professor Widmer. I talked to him a lot outside of class because I was like
Yeah.
kind of lost. I didn't know what my major should be, so he helped me a lot. And then when I took accounting 205, I had Professor Cantoni, and
Hmm.
she was like such an amazing professor. I had so much fun in that class. And it was kind of like the first time that in my head I was like, wait, maybe I should change my major. Like this was fun.
Yeah.
And then after that, accounting 206 was when I had Monahan, which I think he just retired, but he was amazing. He
Hmm.
was like the like last push I needed to like switch my major to accounting because literally every single time I was in the class, he was like, "You need to switch your major. You need to switch your major." And
Yeah.
like it sounds like it would get annoying, but it really wasn't. Like he wanted the best for me, and I could tell. So
Hmm.
like he would, oh my gosh, he took so much time outside of class to like meet with students, like help with course planning and stuff like that, like all the CPA stuff. Like I talked with him for like hours and hours about this stuff, and he just like kind of pushed me to do it in the end.
Hmm.
So like don't be afraid to talk with your professors, like hang out with them, ask them to get coffee. Like it might seem like awkward at first, but like they're also just people. Like they're just chill people too. So
Yeah.
um and then two more. It was Professor Njai, who is also an accounting professor. I love her so much. She's the sweetest, so supportive. And then Professor Egan, who I was his TA, but he
Hmm.
was also very, very supportive of like any like major change I had because I did go from marketing to accounting.
Yeah.
Um, he always helped me out, like if I had too much work and I had to also TA for him, like he would help kind of like balance that with me. And he always has such nice words to say. Like I think he probably has given me the best like constructive feedback out of like anyone in the business school because
Hmm.
like in his classes when you present, he always does like a feedback session after,
Oh
like
wow. Yeah.
right after you present. And that's so nice to hear. Like sometimes it might be like, "Oh wow, like I can't believe I did that." Like I remember one
Yeah.
time during my presentation, I was like kind of stuttering. Like I was so nervous. I kept
Hmm.
like looking around, like not at people in the audience, and he like immediately just told it to my face. And I was like, "Okay, well, like yeah, it kind of sucks. Like I
Yeah.
should have done better, but now I know not to do it next time. So thank you for
Hmm.
telling me."
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can, definitely take his class. I didn't take any of the other marketing professor's classes, but I loved his the most, so I would go for his if you can.
All right. Well, that's great. Thank you for that. So, how do you now plan to bring the Busch School's core mission of business as a force for good into your daily work as an assurance associate at RSM this summer? I mean, this fall.
Um, in accounting, they really emphasize like ethics over everything. I know you've probably heard about like all the huge scandals in the past with like Arthur Anderson and like
Yeah.
WorldCom and all those huge things that we talk about like every day in accounting.
Hmm.
Um, and so we go through like a lot of like ethics training. I know the CPA exam in Virginia also has like an ethics exam portion.
Oh, wow.
We had like an accounting ethics class at school too. So it's
Hmm.
like very important. And that kind of all goes hand in hand with like business as a force for good.
Yeah.
Like as a CPA, you kind of have the power to sign off on all these things and like see all this like private information. And
Hmm.
we know better than to like share it with anyone or like, do the wrong thing with it. Like,
Yeah.
because so it just made me think about we watched this documentary on, I think it was Bernie Madoff maybe, who did like a scheme thing and like scammed so many people out of like millions of
Yeah.
dollars.
Hmm.
But someone had asked him one time, like, why did you become a CPA? And he said, because I wanted to know like the easiest and best way to scam people. Because when you're a CPA, you know everything, like you know how to do all this stuff. So you could technically pull off a scam, right? So
Uh-huh.
so yeah, we kind of have the power to do all those things, but we know better than to do that because
Hmm.
that's not right. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I love that insight there. That's funny. So now that you have graduated, what is the one thing that you will miss most about the Busch School culture?
Um, I talk so much about accounting, but we had such a small graduating class. I think it was maybe like around 30 people, just in accounting. So we kind of had ed every single class together, like the same group of
Oh,
people.
wow. Yeah.
And it was really fun to just like, I mean, we all talked to each other, we all did group work together, and
Hmm.
then you would kind of form like your own little group. Like I had a study group of like 4 or 5 girls that we did like everything together.
Yeah.
Um, and just like at graduation, we were all sat in like this first few like 4 or 5 rows, and
Oh,
everyone was like
wow.
talking with each other. Like everyone knows each other. It's so much fun. And you don't
Yeah.
get that out of like a big school. Like if you went to the University of Maryland, you would have like thousands of people in your class, and it's just not the
Yeah.
same. And at the same time, then your professors don't get to know you because you're just one out of so many.
Yeah.
So I love that so much from this school. Like that's my favorite part probably, just like getting to know everyone, seeing them all the time, and also just like getting to know your professors.
Hmm. Oh, I love that. And for my second to last question, um, regarding your small business that you had with the art designing, that was also really very unique, by the way.
Mhm.
Was there something, a transferable skill, or just something that helped you in your journey to RSM, like in accounting? How did you transfer any skills that you may have learned, or just any insight you might have on how you transferred like something from your art background to accounting?
Yeah, I think, well, one is probably like working overtime. I know in accounting, you have to work some crazy weeks like during
Yeah.
busy season. And like sometimes when I would draw, I mean, because I also had school and then I had like sports, and then I would have to get my like commissions done after all of that. So you kind of
Hmm.
have to like work overtime, like stay up late. And so
Oh,
that's
wow.
something I'm kind of used to now, I guess. And then also just like being able to pick up on really small details. I mean, art versus like financial statements are very different.
Yeah.
But being able to like look at something for hours and hours and hours to the point where your eyes are hurting and you still know like, okay, well, this isn't good enough. I need to keep going because like you
Wow.
want your client to be satisfied.
Hmm. And what type of art did you do? If you don't mind me asking, what type of art did you do?
I did all like digital art on my iPad. I used to do like traditional art, but for commissions, digital art was the best. Like people really liked that, and I had such
Mhm.
a big audience. My like Instagram account was doing really well, like at my peak when I was like doing it the most.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of like, I'm like a reader. I love reading, so I did a lot of art from like fiction books, and like
Mhm.
fantasy books, and that would sell really well. And I would also even like
Wow.
meet the authors and stuff, and sometimes they would like recognize me, which was crazy. Like that was like it was
Oh,
so fun
wow.
to see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I did.
Wow, that's great. I absolutely love that. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for taking the time to be here, Sophia, and for sharing your insights and advice for the next generation coming up behind you at the Busch School, including myself. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. And for anyone watching, please feel free to reach out to me. I have LinkedIn. I have my
Yes,
CUA
of course.
email,
Yeah.
so just email me.
Of course. And congrats again on graduation and best of luck at RSM this fall.
Thank
Best of
you.
luck.
Thank you so much. Have a great summer.
Course. So to everyone watching, that was Sophia Koutsouli. Now it is your turn to take these insights and apply them to your own path. And I'll see you next time on the next episode of the Career Blueprint. Thank you so much for watching.
Goodbye.